Did you see Bill Maher lay a smackdown on Democrats this week?
No, I didn't.
You know who Bill Maher is, right?
Yeah, of course I bloody do.
Yeah, so I don't know much about Bill Maher. He's like a really famous lefty. I guess I was introduced to him when he did that Ben Affleck thing. Remember that like Sam Harris, Ben Affleck argument?
If you want to be liberals, believe in liberal principles,
Right.
like freedom of speech, like,
Right.
we are endowed by our forefathers with inalienable rights, like all men are created equal.
Ben, we have to be able to criticize bad ideas. And
Of course we do. No liberal doesn't want you to criticize bad
But
ideas.
Islam
But
at
why
this moment
when-
is the motherlode of bad ideas.
Jesus.
So we have
That's just
ideas
a fact.
like blasphemy.
It's not a fact.
It is
It's an ugly thing.
apostasy.
It is.
One basic liberal
Well, let me
principle
unpack
is
it.
tolerance.
Yeah, so Ben cracked it like a little girl and called him like racist and shit.
That's right, he cracked it like a little bitch.
Yeah, so like I said, I don't follow Bill much. I know he's done like a podcast recently, apart from his show, and I've seen a couple of times where he's got like Bella Thorne and the Hock Tour girl on, and he usually like creeps him out, like starts talking about sex or porn or something.
What?
Yeah, it's pretty weird. Like he gets really stoned and then just starts talking about fucking.
Could you do that?
Possibly.
And talk about sex, but seriously, serious issues, because there are a lot of really serious issues. I mean, there's one that's related to what made you famous.
Yep.
What? What am I going to say? You have no idea what I'm going to say.
I don't know. I don't know where this is going. I'm kind of
Okay, I'm going to
nervous.
tell you where it's going. You learned that thing about spitting from porn. That's where that came. What? You did.
Okay. I have seen a few clips on X recently, and he tends to not like the woke culture.
He doesn't know. Anyway, Bill Maher lays a smackdown on the Democrats. Let's go!
Someone must tell the usual suspects on the far left that the saying is, when you're in a hole, stop digging, not keep digging. Talk about doubling down on what got you fucked in the first place. Even the one concession I've heard a few people on the losing side offer, that liberals should stop saying the Trump voters are stupid, comes with a kind of unspoken parentheses. We know they are stupid, just don't say it.
He's right. There's like a snootiness around Democrats.
Yeah, that was one of the big things that fucked Kamala.
Yeah, it's like, you're just too fucking stupid to know how to vote properly, to know who to vote for type thing.
And then when Trump did the whole garbage man thing to put the smackdown on what Biden said, that was just pure genius.
Oh yeah, he's just like the troll king, isn't he? And he's not above it. He's not above it at all.
Yeah.
I got bad news for you. They don't have a monopoly on stupid. You wear Queers for Palestine t-shirts.
That is fucking retarded.
It has to be one of the more retarded things that have come out from the left recently.
Have you seen that meme, Quiz for Palestine versus Quiz in Palestine meme? I can't show it on YouTube.
No, I haven't. How come there's so much shit I haven't seen?
Oh, it's fucking brutal. It's brutal.
And masks 2 years after the pandemic ended. And you can't define woman, I mean person who menstruates.
It seems like since Trump has won and the people of America have spoken in such huge numbers, it seems like the left have been a little bit more quiet.
Yeah, and it's kind of spooky. It's like, what are you plotting? Having said that, we're like, 10 days, 2 weeks out from the election. So like, it all sort of tends to bubble up around sort of inauguration time. Like, remember last time with that woman screaming at the sky and shit? That was inauguration.
Was it?
Yeah, so that's like the 20th of January, I think.
Oh, I thought that was directly after Hillary lost.
Bill Maher makes a good point, though. You can't even define woman. I mean, it must be infuriating for people to hear person who menstruates.
I tell you what, if the midwife who delivered our daughter turned around and said birthing person, I would have slapped her.
I believe you too. You are fucking rabid.
You're the Teachers Union Education Party, and you've turned schools and colleges into a joke. You just lost a crazy contest to an actual crazy person.
He doesn't like Trump, though.
No, he doesn't. And that's fair enough. You can not like Trump.
And even before he said, yeah, Trump supporters are idiots.
I've seen a bit of leftist cope on Twitter of people putting out like graphs of like, this is what would have happened if only educated people voted.
Oh, fuck off.
It's so fucking snooty.
You love to speak truth to power, and we always should, but you have completely lost the ability to speak truth to bullshit. The Democratic polling firm Blueprint told Democrats months ago that black voters, aka their supposedly liberal base, were more likely to find the president too liberal than too conservative. They also found that voters didn't just want Harris to distance herself from Biden, they wanted her to distance herself from what they believe the entire Democratic Party has become, a Portlandia sketch.
I have not seen Portlandia.
No, I don't even know what that is. What is that?
Well, I don't know, but I kind of want to watch an episode now.
I don't have my bag with me.
We don't have any bags.
You don't have any paper bags? Are you okay?
I think this happened before.
We have a man. We have a man who, I guess he forgot his bag. If you can, we can have someone come down.
So black voters didn't just want Harris to distance herself from Biden, but from the Democrat Party in general, or the Democrat policies in general. And it's such a fucking wake-up call, isn't it? Like, the Democrats, I think, have always sort of relied on the black vote as their crutch. Like, of course they're going to fucking vote Democrat. They're blacks. Remember Biden last time round when he said, if you don't vote Democrat, you ain't black?
You have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, and you ain't black.
What a shocker that the people who see everything through the lens of race and sex see their election loss as a result of racism and sexism. Yes, if only we weren't so irredeemably unenlightened, we would have elected a black president by now. Oh, what, we did? Oh, right, and then re-elected him. Maybe you missed it because it wasn't on TikTok.
See, he's going hard, and I kinda like it. The stark difference between him and some of the other talk show hosts. Like, there's a clip going around of John Oliver. In fact, I might find it and play it at the end, where John's just like still in his bubble. He's like, you're all fucking wrong. You're all fucking wrong and stupid. It's so condescending, man.
Democrats run for office as if the voters don't live here.
I like that line. The amount of shit they peddled about, oh yeah, the economy's doing great, fucking inflation's not a problem, rah, 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 rah. But like, people feel that shit with their hip pockets. People feel that shit when they've got to pay their power bills, when they've got to pay for their groceries, when they've got to put petrol in their car.
That's what it comes down to, isn't it? The very baseline job of the government is to make things easier for its people.
Yeah.
You know, to accommodate its people. And under Biden, people were feeling it worse than ever.
Yeah. And they sort of pivot to this like, oh, well, fucking racial justice, social justice, you know, equality, fucking rah, rah. No one gives a fuck about fucking social justice issues when they can't pay their bills.
Yeah, that's baseline stuff. Nobody gives a shit about the extracurricular crap.
As if they don't go to the grocery store and Starbucks and the office. But they do. They live here. And they actually see women and people of color. And it doesn't look like some patriarchal, racist nightmare. Do problems remain pertaining to racism and sexism? Of course. But a poll last year asked, if America is the greatest country in the world, more blacks and Hispanic Americans agreed with that than the white progressives.
Yeah, see, white progressives are like, we will represent you, we will save you. And they tend to have stronger opinions than the people they think they're protecting.
They're a bunch of self-loathing whingers.
Yeah.
Like, they hate themselves. They hate that they're white.
They hate what they perceive their ancestors have done in the past.
Exactly.
It asked if racism is built into our society. White progressives agreed with that at higher levels than black and Hispanic people.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. 75% of progressives believe that racism is built into their society. More than blacks, more than Hispanics. That's insane.
It's kind of funny, isn't it? It's like, as white people, it is our duty to speak for the blacks that we have oppressed. Like, no, shut up.
Well, it kind of feels a bit like that bigotry of low expectations that Bush used to talk about. Like, oh, of course they can't understand it. Of course they can't see it. Of course they can't achieve it. They're just blacks.
Yeah, it was like, we have all of this privilege. We need to speak for the lower class who are not as privileged as us.
Let me save you.
Oh, God.
It asked if government should increase border security. Same result. Hispanic Americans are less okay with illegal immigration than whitey.
Wow. So even the Spaniards, the Hispanics from down south are like, fuck this illegal immigration. Close the borders.
Yeah, because all of the illegal aliens are coming in and taking their bin jobs and doing it for cheaper.
You're like an accidental racist a lot.
No, it was a joke. Come on.
Who was it? Ozzy Osbourne's daughter, who was on like The View or something. Do you remember that? And she was like, well, if you close the borders, Donald Trump, who's going to clean your toilets?
If you kick every Latino out of this country, then who is going to be cleaning your toilets, Donald Trump?
Oh, that's no.
In the sense that, you know what I mean? Like, when I'm saying
there's
that...
There's more jobs to be...
In LA, they always...
But
they
Latinos are not only the only people
I didn't mean it like that. Come on. No, I would never mean it like that.
Okay.
I'm not part of this argument.
The votes are in. They don't want your pity.
Yeah, that's the problem with progressives.
Savior complex.
Savior complex.
And black people can't afford to indulge rich white people's need to endlessly flagellate themselves. They just want prices to go down and good jobs and the police when you call them. Black people, they're just like us.
Yeah, he's fucking dead right. I mean, at the most basic level, that's what everyone wants. Everyone wants a society that functions. They want to be able to pay their bills. They want the cops to come when they're called. They don't give a fuck about systemic racism and fucking social justice shit.
It's the most common ground that all races have.
Yeah.
They just want to live well.
Yeah, whether you're black or white, you just want to be able to feed your family and make sure they're safe. Now, we're not in America. We can't get a feel for what's going on the ground. But, like, it's the same shit everywhere. It's the same here.
Kamala spent 100 days telling voters, I know it feels like crime and illegal immigration are bad, but fuck your feelings. Look at this chart. Yes, there's a lot to not like already about the new regime, but maybe take 1 week to ask what you did wrong. The basis for Democratic campaigns has become, we're the smart people. That we know from the get-go. No need to look into that. We know that a priori, which is a Latin phrase the red hat people wouldn't have a clue about.
Yeah, he jokes, but I can see a lot of Democrats actually having that view.
It kind of reminds me a bit of what we Australians have, like this tall poppy syndrome. We hate a high and mighty cunt down here.
Oh, yeah.
And we will chop that motherfucker down so quick. If you're going to come out and be all snooty and, like, talk about people like they're lesser than you and so uneducated, of course people are going to want to chop you down and knock you down a level.
Yeah.
But they don't need to. Have you seen my "In This House We Believe" lawn sign?
Oh my God, imagine living next to a cunt with one of those signs.
Get the fuck out.
It's just like a neon virtue signal.
Literally, it's painted with neon print.
Yeah.
Oh my God, what an asshole.
See, it says right on it, we believe in science. Right, which is why you demanded no one even debate whether COVID could have escaped from the one lab in the one city where they were studying it. How far-fetched. The New York Times called it racist.
They called Trump racist for that too. China.
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 I was just about to say China.
China. China. China. China. China. China.
Fucking hell, he makes a good point. And if he had said this like 3 or 4 years ago, he would have been fucking crucified.
Absolutely.
As lots of people were. Man, when Bill Maher's on, he's fucking on. I like this Bill Maher.
Democrats have become like a royal family that, because of so much incest, has unfortunately had children who are retarded.
I like that.
Yeah, how many lefties would be like, oh my God, you can't say the R word, that's ableist.
No, that's true. It's like so much inbreeding, they've mutated.
Yeah, but he's right. Like when you get this whirlwind of just fucking woke crazy ideas, they just mash together and end up like in this nonsensical fucking mess.
And it kind of makes me think about the last video that you just did about this new lefty platform that I hadn't even heard of.
Oh, Blue Sky, yeah.
Yeah, it's like they hate so much hearing opposition. They hate so much hearing other people's thoughts because they think, you know, they're so virtuous and everyone else are bigots that they just put their hands over their ears and go la 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 la. Like,
yeah.
We don't want to hear it. And then they all go and circle jerk to each other in a safe space.
A good example of what I was talking about is in Matt Walsh's new movie, he talks about the Moana problem. So the Moana problem is he's talking to this like race educator, racism fucking person, right? And he goes, my daughter likes Disney princesses. I encourage her not to like the white ones because that's white supremacy. And this person goes, yeah, that's right. I agree with that. I encourage her to like Moana because she's brown. And this person's like, yeah, well, that's good. I think that's fantastic. And he goes, the trouble is Halloween's coming up. So she wants to dress like Moana. What do we do? Should we get the brown paint out and dress her like Moana? And she's fucking stumped. She doesn't know what to say.
It's almost like no matter which way you go, you end up back in racism.
We think every space belongs to us because we live in a white supremacist society.
Yeah, like I said, it's just like a whirlwind of dumb fuckery.
Yeah.
Like, have you seen those lists? I think they're called like the icky list, right? Where it's like a list of things that turn women off on first dates. And it's like, you can't cook at home. You can't fucking go too far to a restaurant. You can't go to a cheap restaurant. You can't go to a too fancy a restaurant. And they just exclude everything because everything is icky.
And the same thing can happen to ideas. if they are also conceived in an atmosphere of intellectual incest. Maybe take the clothespins off your noses and actually converse with the other half of the country. Stop screaming at people to get with the program and instead make a program worth getting with.
Yep. You know what? He's going to be far right now.
Isn't that funny when you think that, like, oh, Bill Maher's going to be right now, Joe Rogan's going to be right now, like they're openly going to come out and say, yeah, we're tired of all this.
Well, no, I'm saying people are going to call him right-wing now. You know, like I keep bringing up memes on Twitter, but like they kind of describe everything to do with modern life pretty accurately. It's like that meme of the 90s Democrat or the Democrat of, say, 15, 20 years ago stayed in one place and the left just kept getting further and further to the left.
Yeah.
So when they look right, they see this person miles to the right of them and they go, oh my God, he's far right. Oh, did you see that photo? It was just recent of like Trump, Elon Musk, Tulsi Gabbard and RFK standing together.
No.
It's really funny and kind of eye-opening because they're like the Republicans now.
Yeah.
But someone pointed out that at one point in time, every single one of those people were Democrats.
There you go. They were too.
Last week, Massachusetts Congressman Seth Moulton said, I have 2 little girls. I don't want them getting run over on a playing field by a formerly male athlete. But as a Democrat, I'm supposed to be afraid to say that. Yes, there's the problem in a nutshell. Because Congressman Moulton sounds reasonable to me, but his campaign manager immediately resigned in protest. Let me make this as plain as I can to the smart people. The campaign manager who resigned, yeah, let that person go.
Yeah, and that Democrat's right. He should be able to express those concerns, but he can't because he's a Democrat and Democrats have a prescribed set of opinions. Now listen to that. That sounded completely reasonable, what Bill Maher was saying just there. I mean, as the father of a daughter, I'd fucking hate for there to be any chance that she like fronts up against a male athlete or a male competitor in anything she does.
Yeah.
Now look at John Oliver, the smug fuck.
As we've discussed before, there are vanishingly few trans girls competing in high schools anywhere. Even if there were more, trans kids, like all kids, vary in athletic ability, and there is no evidence they pose any threat to safety or fairness. It is very weird for you to be so focused on this subject. And finally, if you genuinely want to address the biggest concern for most girls who play high school sports, you'd be less worried about this and more about the creepy assistant volleyball coach who keeps liking their posts on fucking Instagram.
Yeah, people are concerned about that too, John, you fucking idiot. I mean, where do we start there? So he's saying that trans girls are like vanishingly few.
Yeah.
Wouldn't vanishingly few mean that there's less and less of them?
Yeah, and you wouldn't keep hearing about it in the fucking news all the time about how they're beating regular girls?
Yeah, there's more and more of them. It's like literally the opposite of vanishingly few.
And what else? The second thing he said was, there is no evidence that they hold any advantage over regular girls. Are you fucking kidding me?
There's plenty of evidence, John. See, most people don't look at studies and graphs and fucking scholarly papers. Most people listen to what they hear on the news, and they heard about that swimmer chick, that university chick, who got beaten by Leah Thomas. They hear about the athletics thing, I think it was Ohio. They hear about the Olympics and that Algerian boxer. Now, that wasn't the Democrats defending that person, although it largely was, but my point is, they see which way the wind's blowing. And fathers and families think, I don't like this. I don't like the way things are going. I'm going to vote against this.
I just don't know how they can come to the conclusion that men have no advantage over women in sports, even if they are transitioning.
Yeah, he's a fucking idiot. I mean, I'm not going to go through all the things again. I've done it a million times on this channel. Lung capacity, heart size, fucking bone density. Yeah, shut the fuck up, John, you punsy fuck. People get a feel for these things and people are not stupid. And they vote to protect their families. They vote to protect their families' interests. They vote to protect their families' safety. And although in your words it's a vanishing few, it's still an issue. And people care about it, so fuck off. Anyway, I thought that was brilliant. The Democrats getting a smackdown from one of their own. I mean, I don't think many of them are going to listen to him. I think they're just going to go, oh, he's far right now.
Yeah.
But it's good to see. Anyway, thanks very much for watching. Visit SugarTits. She's got a channel. There's a link in the description. All right, we'll catch you later. Ta-ta. Bye-bye.
See ya.